Hi everyone, this is Tanya from Tea Talks 93. Today we're going to review Sister Wives, Season 19, Episode 13. And this one is called Giving Up the Ghost. And I took that as to mean like Mary's finally giving up the dream of the relationship or the marriage to Cody. So that's how I took it. I'm not really sure where they're coming to with that, but maybe a few people are giving up some things that they thought they would have before and no longer have. But it starts out with Mary going to Lakai, and that's the restaurant, the center where Aspen got married. She went to have lunch with her friends, and she took a lady named Andrea, who was from a plural marriage and had left that plural marriage. And then she also took a friend named Hillary, which Hillary, I guess, grew up with her parents being in like the AUB or one of the polygamous religions, but she never joined a plural marriage. She married one person, so she is a monogamist. I guess these are the two that were with Mary when she went to the AUB leaders to get the release from Cody. So it's good that Mary has that support where she didn't find it with her sister wives. And you know, Robin and she were supposedly very good friends, and then this, I guess, you know, with Robin still being married to Cody and she's not, then that relationship is not as close as it once was. So then Mary was telling them about, you know, the last week and the week before was it episodes where she was moving from Flagstaff to her B&B in Parowan. And she tells them, yeah, Cody helped me move, and they were a little surprised about that, and almost like a little bit of a concern that, you know, she's still trying to depend on Cody, and it almost was like they're questioning if she's still hanging on and trying to make it work still, even though she's already gone through the release and the divorce and everything. So they talk about they recommend that she basically lets Cody go and lives her own life and is happy with what she's got and who she is, being, you know, the businesswoman and being independent and not having to depend on Cody for everything. Andrea, so she's the one that left the polygamous marriage. She said she knew that Cody drug out the marriage to Mary longer than he should have, but she believes, and I think most of us probably do believe this, that Cody was waiting for Mary to figure it out. Like he would like drop little breadcrumbs or whatever to try to it seemed like he tried to keep her going, but then he would be on the couch sessions and he'd be like, I don't love Mary, I don't want to be with Mary, I don't know why Mary's still around. So I can see how Mary was so confused, because he's like back and forth on it this whole time. Anyway, but they noticed how Cody would do that and that he was waiting on Mary to make the decision, so it would be Mary's fault. I think that's what happened too. She said that, so they both agreed, the friends both agreed that they noticed that when Cody married Robin back in the beginning of the show, at least, that he didn't have any care, or not as much care, for anyone else. It was all about Robin from that point. And then Mary actually agreed. She's coming to terms with, yeah, that may have been the truth. So I'm glad Mary is finally seeing it. And then they flash over to Cody being on the couch, and he's denying it, of course, and nobody really knows because they weren't there. You know, all the excuses that Cody freaking gives, and he's such a liar, and he drags people through the mud, and then he blames them for everything going wrong. But we all saw it. We all watched these episodes for how many years? 13, 12 or 13 years, whatever it is, 19 seasons now, and we saw how Cody treated Mary and the other wives, Christine and Janelle, versus the way he treated Robin, and we saw the differences. We saw that he preferred Robin. We saw that he chose her over the rest of his family. He chose Robin and Robin's kids over his wives and his other children, all of them. He did not care whether he had a relationship with any of the rest of them, because if he did care, he would have nurtured those relationships and kept them, period. Mary, they asked how the friendship between Mary and Robin were, and she was just like, it's really weird because she's still married to my ex-husband. So I guess that relationship is kind of petering out, or whatever you want to say, but I would imagine that that's how it would go, because Robin is the good one that does what Cody wants, and Mary is the out. She's out. Hillary and Andrea encourage Mary to see her value, what she can offer, how beautiful she is, how talented she is, and that one day they hope that she finds someone who can see her value and her worth. They talk about when Cody said, Mary, like they flash back to, was it the first season, I think, when Mary and Cody had a anniversary dinner, and I think it was at Lakai, actually, where Mary is talking to them now, but they were having that dinner, and Mary was talking about how, like, she gets jealous, and she's like, how would you feel if I went and dated or had another husband or whatever? And Cody said in that segment long time ago that the idea of it sickened him. So he had talked about not loving Mary the whole time, but he also wanted to hold on to her, and that if she was with somebody else, it would sicken him. Hold on to that for a minute. What? He had an out right there. He could have been like, you can leave. You know, all these times he talks about, I never loved her, but at that moment, in that time, he's like, no, that would sicken me. So he didn't want her to have another husband. And him saying that he didn't love her this whole time is a crock of crap, honestly. It's bull. Mary talks about how the AUB basically requires suffering to get into heaven, and that she no longer believes that. So I'm glad that she came to that understanding that that is not the right way to go. And I think a lot of Christian people believe that God would not want you to suffer. Basically, if you are suffering, like, he would be there to help you through suffering, but he doesn't want you to purposely suffer in order to get to heaven. Because if you are a Christian, and this is Christian faith, I'm not saying to believe it or whatever, but per Christian faith, if you believe in Jesus, and Jesus was the one who died on the cross, then that saves you from anything you've done, as long as you believe and try to improve your life and look to God from that point. So he wouldn't want you to suffer, because basically Jesus has already suffered for you. So that is the Christian belief. I know that because that's how I grew up. Christine, it goes to the segment of Christine trying on wedding dresses, and I thought it was pretty fun, because I know we did see the wedding, but I like to see the build up to the wedding. So I wish they would have done the build up to the wedding, and then maybe her wedding at the end of this season or something. But it's fine. It's fine. I did like the last season. I did like that we could see Garrison in that last season, and he was enjoying things that were going on. And then he did have his trauma stuff going on too, but they got to do the say yes to the dress moment here with Christine, and she tries on all the dresses, and all the women, there's like her mom, her kids, I think David's kids, maybe a bunch of people, I don't know who they are, all picking out different dresses and having her try them on, and she's just like trying everything on to see what she likes. And then at the end, I don't think she really sees something that she likes by itself, but she sees pieces of different dresses that she likes, and then the shop owner basically helps her design the wedding dress she comes up with when the wedding. So that was pretty cool. I did want to make a note that the bohemian dress with all the beading and stuff, that one was my favorite, and I actually liked it better than her wedding dress, but I'm glad she was happy with her wedding dress, whatever she decided to wear. But that was my favorite, so, but that's okay. Maddie and Janelle are also there, and they're just so happy to join in the fun, and they're glad to support Christine. And then Christine talks about how her mom wasn't able to go to the wedding with Cody because her mom had left her dad, who was in the AUB also, and because she left the AUB, she couldn't go to the wedding with the AUB. She was basically excommunicated from the church and couldn't step foot in the church itself. So I've heard other fundamentalist Mormon churches pretty much have the same kind of ideals, that if you are excommunicated, and even Latter-day Saints, I think, if you don't belong, you can't go into their temples. So it's kind of that way with the fundamental Mormon churches, that you can't go to the church services or anything if you don't belong to that church. So it flips back to Mary at Lakai. They asked her, so her friends asked her if she had talked to her family about it, and she said she hadn't, but she didn't say why. And I was kind of wondering if it was related to this excommunication idea or like a shunning kind of idea, because I think Mary's family, I may be wrong, not really sure, but if they belong to the AUB and they are still practicing polygamy, they may not want to share with her or listen to her because it could sway them from having the same ideology, possibly. So I kind of wondered that. It's a question mark in my mind. Mary thought, so she said, you know, she tried to make it work with Cody so often, and she said she knows that polygamy could work, and she just thought that if he worked with her on it, then everything could improve. But then Andrea and Hillary both agreed that they have never seen anybody that is really happy in polygamy. Sometimes it's like a make it work situation, and they do it because they belong to this church that requires this, but they're not truly happy. And then Mary asks if they know anybody that are monogamous that are happy all the time, and Hillary says, verbatim, "I don't have to wonder if my husband loves sleeping with me more than someone else." So that pretty much ends it, because you don't have to have that jealousy. You know that you are supposed to be priority, and if he strays to someone else, you know he has broken. Cody and Robin talked about a covenant, right? He has broken that covenant and that promise to you to be faithful and love towards you only. And if he doesn't do that, then it's time to split. And she also says, I don't have to worry about him providing something more to others than me. So kudos, Hillary, for telling her like it is and being honest and upfront. And hopefully Mary can, like, what does Cody say? Soak that in and think about that for a while. So hopefully she'll think about it, and it can help her to heal and kind of overcome those thoughts of what if I could have, those kinds of things. Mary talks about, like, she's like, yeah, I'm 52 now, and you know, if he would have told me 7 years ago, I would have been 45, and then I would have been younger and healthier and you know, more attractive, I think is what she was getting to, and then maybe had more options if she was looking for another partner. But she's like, now I'm 52, and they're like trying to reassure her that she will be able to find somebody if that's what she wants, and not to really, don't rush it, because you don't want to rush into another bad situation where it doesn't work. So please take your time, Mary. Figure out that if this is your person, your soulmate, like Cody and Christine have. I think if I was at that point, I would just wait. You know, if I didn't find my soulmate, I would be done. I'd be like, I'm fine by myself, Kind of like Janelle, right? Janelle's like, if I find that person that fits and whatever, then I'm open, but I'm fine and happy being able to do what I want, go where I want, spend whatever money I want on what I want. So, and have nobody else telling me what to do. So Janelle's happy. Mary can also be happy. It will be fine, Miss Mary. Then Hillary says, you know, Mary, you gave Cody unlimited chances to correct this situation, and he never did. He never came through. And there's a point where these men don't deserve another chance. And so Mary kind of looks at her like, what? But it is true. Like, if you've repeatedly practically begged, like she repeatedly practically begged Cody to improve their relationship, their marriage, that kind of thing, and he just continuously didn't. And we all watching her was like, why aren't you figuring this out? He obviously doesn't want you. He obviously doesn't love you enough or care about you enough to put forth the effort to making this work. So why don't you just stop? And she wouldn't for like years, and it was so heartbreaking. And then finally she was able to get up enough courage and strength to leave him. And then he still, like, whenever they talk, he still drops these little breadcrumbs so that she will be infatuated with him or love him or whatever, even though he has no intention of having another relationship with her. So I wish, Cody, you would just have a little bit of a heart, just a little tiny piece of a heart, and stop giving her those little breadcrumbs and just be a friend. If it's not something you would say to Nathan, don't say it to Mary. Period. And then Hillary and Andrea, they're so nice. I'm so glad Mary has these friends, because they said they want her to get to the point where she stops saying, I would have stayed if. And they want her to say, I love the marriage I had with Cody, but I am happy where I am now. And Mary promised that she would work on it. So, and then looking at the when she's sitting on the couch, where it's like a year or two later, then she's like, you can see that she is overcoming a lot of this. And I guess at this point where they're having this lunch, Mary's about 6 months away from the divorce, so she's still grieving. She's still going through the grief process. You know, she had the denial for a very long time, and then now I think she's getting toward acceptance, so I hope that's the case. And you know, you can go up and down from, what is it, shock, anger, denial, bargaining, and acceptance. You can go up and down through all the stages, and there's no time frame when you have to stop each one or when you have to get to acceptance. And then sometimes something will trigger you where you've already accepted it, or you think you've accepted it, and then you go back to another stage. So I hope Mary is accepting, and maybe that will be it, but we can hope. Then it goes back to the next segment where Christine, she's still trying on dresses. She's enjoying all the attention, being the center of attention, and all the women are having fun participating, so it's really cool. But it did make me think of when Robin was trying on dresses back in season 1, and they were having fun with the other wives, and the other wives felt included and like they could help her make the choice. And then Cody dropped that bombshell that I picked the dress, and that just kind of put a wrench in everything. And it also made me think, like, back to when Janelle says Cody leaks like a sieve. He's a blabbermouth. So that may have been part of the blabbermouth Cody that leaked that he helped Robin pick out the dress and made the other wives feel like they weren't important and their viewpoints weren't important. So, and that also makes me go back to Andrea saying that we could see it from the beginning when he married Robin, that that's all he cared about was Robin. So the next segment goes to Robin and her daughters, Aurora and Brianna. They're discussing returning to a church. Cody basically leaves with the little kids, Solomon and Ariella. and goes to a park or something. And I guess Cody is too much for him to participate in this conversation. He's just not there yet. Whatever, Cody. So they talk about going to church and meeting guys that they can date, and hopefully having the same or similar beliefs, so they can, if they decide to get married at some point or be serious about each other, they're on the same page. Because as we can see, like Robin and Cody, they're having a little friction, and they're not showing us much of it, but I can almost feel it, because Robin, she slipped. So Robin wanted them to just meet friends, but then Robin slipped, and she said that there are no churches around that believe in what I and Dad did or do. We do believe in it, basically. And so Robin's confused. Robin still believes in the AUB teachings, and Cody does not. And I think I know this often causes friction in marriages and relationships. And I think it probably is causing friction in their relationship, because Cody is having such a hard time getting over it and like participating. But yeah, I do appreciate this conversation with Robin and her daughters, because it's one of those things that we've been wondering, or I've been wondering for sure, is like, where is Robin and her kids and the beliefs that from the AUB? Is she still believing in that, or have they moved on to a different type of Christianity, or what's going on? Robin talks about there's no AUB, and there was none in Las Vegas or Flagstaff, and they tried to do some churches with just Cody leading, and then the kids and the wives participating with him in their own little church together, and Robin's like, it just didn't work very well. You really need that community of people, and we just don't have it here in Flagstaff either. So Aurora talks about taking a Buddhist class in college, and that made her start to really think about missing the church community and nurturing her spiritual beliefs. So that's part of why she wanted to join it, and then Brianna also wanted to discuss it. Aurora says she doesn't want to be involved in the AUB anymore, so that was pretty clear. And then Brianna was unsure. She's not sure if she wants to be a polygamist or not. So Robin's supportive either way. She's like, if she wants to do it, then I'll support her. If she doesn't, that's okay too. And then Cody says he doesn't think any of his kids want to be polygamists. And in my mind, I was like, I wonder why. Because your whole marriage that we were supposed to think was all fun and great and normal was a big freaking mess in the end. And he totally blew it. Cody totally blew it. Wasn't anybody else. It was Cody. Robin and the kids plan to go church shopping, and then Cody just talks about being nervous about it. He said he's a Christian, but he doesn't want to have like a specific denomination. So at that time, I don't know if he's changed his mind since then, but at the point where he was on the couch talking, he did not want to put a label or a specific denomination, but he says he still believes. So it goes back over to Christine and David and the kids going cake shopping, and Cody, I guess they asked him what he thought about it, and he's like, I don't really care. I'm not interested in knowing what's going on with Christine, and I don't think she wants me to know anything. And I just go back and back. Like, Cody talks about not caring what's going on with Christine, but he still has a minor child in Christine's custody that he should be caring about what's going on in that child's life, if nothing else. And he should be involved in like getting to know David more and getting to know what they're going to be teaching truly and that kind of thing. But Cody, he's just like, hands off. She's gone, the kids are gone. So remember, he had always talked about like Mary's child, Christine's kids, Janelle's kids, and then whenever it was his and Robin's, it was our kids. So that was also a tell, right? That he saw Robin and their kids as the nuclear family, and then these other people are just like around the perimeter kind of thing. He's so crazy. And then it talks about how, you know, when Christine left, she told her kids and Janelle's kids that she was going to go leave Cody and find her soulmate, because Cody had his soulmate in Robin. And he talks about how angry he was a couple seasons ago when Christine left about it, but he's now more accepting of it, and especially now that Mary and Janelle are gone and he doesn't have to pretend. He can accept that he and Robin are soulmates, and this is how he's going to be the rest of his life, and he has no plans to get married again. So that is the gist of that episode. There was some good parts in it. It wasn't like action packed like anything like that, but there was some good statements made, good input from like Mary's friends. I enjoyed seeing Christine, you know, enjoying and being the center of attention when she was planning to get married to the love of her life. And then I appreciated Robin and her kids talking about what their beliefs are, because like I said, that's something I've been wondering if, especially she and Cody, if they were still on the same page as far as religion goes, or if they weren't. And it really sounds like they're not, or at least they weren't at that time. I don't know about now. But and again, if Cody and she can't see eye to eye on their beliefs and be on the same page with things, it's going to cause friction in their marriage, and things could start to crumble for them. But we will see how it goes in time, unless they decide to stop the show before that. But yeah, that's the week, and I'll see you guys next week. Hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, all the things. You guys have a good week.